Alright, so I did make a video a minute ago. I'm scrapping that video. It just wasn't very well put together. But this is my ooh, big grunt. This is just an update on how my animations are coming along. How my ability to animate is coming along. It's like an update, animation update, episode 1. That's what I'm going to be calling it. This will be like a daily, maybe weekly series. Depends on how busy I get. Depends on how much I decide to do. Because although animation has become something I need to do every day, or else I want to lose my mind, I don't always produce things that are, I guess, able to be shown off in a way. Because, like, I'll show off some bad stuff in this video. Not some, like, bad, but, like, on a technical level, it's not very well done. This is my first ever animation that I ever did on Rough Animator. And yeah, it's just this is it. It looks like a little, like, it's almost like one of the horses, like, wow, one of the horses, a horse, whenever they kick their legs up, but with fingers instead. And I thought of that idea just out of nowhere, and I was like, I thought I should just animate that. It'd be funny. And then after that, we move on right to Spider, which is one of my best so far. And it's this. I don't know what possessed me to draw this. I don't know why I wanted to draw it, but I thought it looked really cool in my head, and so I did it on paper. And this is my second ever real animation, so to speak. I've done a couple other ones, but they aren't really animations. I guess my real first one would be Dingle. Not Dingle, be Roundworm. The Roundworm animation I did, but that wasn't really an animation. It was just me moving around a PNG. But yeah, this is one of my first real animations. But yeah, what I really liked about this one was just the amount of, like, movement and emotion, like the desperation in grabbing that little ledge there, but also like the struggle shown and the resulting, like, almost whiplash of trying to crawl out of that little hole. Also, this isn't just one thing, by the way. I just thought I'd point this out real quick. You see that little guy on the bottom there, on underneath here? Oh, I'll show you. This little guy here. That guy's name is Tim, and the one on top is Sally. I thought about doing a little short animation slash short film on them. But I liked it. The story in my head was really something. I didn't write it down, sadly. I should have. I should write down every little story blurb that comes to my head, where it's like a kind of like a mini story where a bunch of lore just, like, implants it into my head. I don't know where it comes from. It just comes from somewhere. This video isn't going to be edited. I'm too tired to edit right now. So I'm going to post this raw video to YouTube without editing. I'm excited for that. Um, anyway, on to the next one. We've got, let me think. What did I do next? I think I started with Meat Hole Project. And that sounds really weird. And it is weird. I agree. It's very weird. So we start out with this little guy. As you can see, we have some sizing issues with him. He grows rapidly when getting even the slightest bit closer to the camera. But yeah, and then this fades into here, but there's really nothing there. So the problem with this one is there was just so much going on, and I also made it on a very low quality canvas, pixel wise, and so nothing looked as high a quality as I wanted it to be. Heck, this little guy down here was almost impossible to animate. I'm actually surprised I even did it. It looks like I rotoscoped. That's how bad the quality of the pixels are there. So yeah, I do really, I hate using this low quality. Also, it shouldn't have been a 12 FPS thing. I've recognized that if I want to post an animation on YouTube, I need to do it 6 frames per second. That was what I was gonna do originally, but after that, I took a bit, and the next day I started producing this nice little animation here, and I'm gonna finish this eventually. just not today or tomorrow or the next day because I'm working on something else right now. It's the second meat hole project, quote unquote, where yeah, I got this far and I stopped because I realized it'd just be a long time where I was just doing a lot of nothing. And also, this is 12 FPS, and I can't do that. And so that's why I stopped. So I'm going to have to reanimate some of this because it's fit for 12 FPS, not 6. Um, and also, some of the other issues I have here is, again, with the sizing. This little, like, meaty part doesn't really change that much with, like, the movement that well. I don't know what it is. It's just something there that just doesn't make it look right. Like it looks like it's stretching rather than moving with the fact that the hole is moving. But yeah, I've also done, and then after that, I went on to make a couple of practice ones. This one is practice because I was practicing attaching another object to one object to another object. This one was my first attempt. I didn't do any other attempts. I'm going to be doing more, but this one reveals that I have a big problem with weight. Because as you see, this second little object that is connected doesn't really affect the first one. It just kind of exists. It doesn't really have proper weight to it like the first one does. Um, I have a big problem with that. I also have a problem with the line art where I don't do line art very well. And then we go on to, I think, this one. Nope, that's a later on one. It would be unrotted, I think it's called, or whatever it is. I just spammed stuff into my keyboard. This is a little walk animation I did where this guy's just walking. And it gets a little messed up around here because I messed up the frames. I don't know how I did that, but I did do it. I messed it up. And that's okay. Everybody makes mistakes. And then after that, I went from this all the way to the face one, which I love this one. I started this one on stream, but this one is one of my favorites. I legitimately don't think there is a problem with this animation. It's just so clear cut and simple. I think if anything, this final frame of the mouth has a little bit of an issue with just suddenly changing so drastically with keeping none of its prior shape. Also, if you want to bring up the fact that the eyes are moving, that is the point. The point of the eyes in this animation are to move. I thought it'd be a really cool effect. And yes, the eyes do grow a little bit as we go on, but I do really think that it's one of my best animations where I keep the size mostly together. But yeah. And then we go from there. I actually don't know where I'm going from there. I forgot what I did. I think this, oh yes, this is today. I did this today. I don't know what was up with me, but I felt like I just couldn't animate. And it's because I got super overwhelmed, I feel like, with actually doing the animation, planning it out and all that. And you can kind of see it here where things get a little bit wobbly because I'm not actually focused on the real animation. I'm just thinking about the skeleton behind it. And so things don't look right because I'm not focusing on the final product. I'm not focusing on all of it together, what it's going to look like in the final and what it's going to look like right now. As you can see, the legs hardly move while this thing essentially breaks its neck. By the way, it's supposed to be a cat. The legs realistically should be moving to adapt to what the cat's doing, but they aren't. And that's because I got tunnel vision on the neck and making sure that the skeleton underneath it makes sense. That's one of my big issues that I've got right now. Also, I didn't quit doing things in 12 FPS. That wasn't 12 FPS, but it could have been eventually one day. And then after that, or wait, this is before this. This was on Sunday, so 3 days ago, as of now. I started on this little animation that I was going to do of a deep sea diver. I never finished it because I got distracted by other animations and I thought it'd be too complex. And that's my problem, is I don't follow through on my animations. It could look absolutely amazing, It doesn't, because I don't follow through on it. And that's okay. I gotta learn to start following through on some of these animations. And this is the last and final one that I am just not doing things properly in. Because this next one I'm actually starting to like already. Wait, what's this? Oh, I'm gonna ignore that one. This last and final one I'm already starting to really enjoy, even though I just started. Um, and I am gonna finish this one. This one I'm gonna work on tomorrow. I'm gonna work on it the next day. I'm gonna work on it the next. In fact, when I update this video, when I give you another animation update, it will be this animation for the next like week or so. I might do a couple of extra little warm-ups because I do like to do warm-ups, but this will mostly be it. And so I'm gonna play it, and as you can see, it's just obviously just a guy walking. It's a really nice walk cycle already, even though there is some sizing issues here. I really do enjoy it already. It looks nice on the eyes a little bit, or my eyes. But in this video, there's gonna be like a rocket that like comes down, and it just like crashes into this, and it starts to infiltrate this. I don't know what this is. I think it's a temple. It's a cool little temple. But I'm thinking about the rocket being like a physical like being, but the thing inside of it is also another person. Like the rocket has hands and two little eyeballs, and it starts running around and like helping the guy fight and things like that. I think that'd be really cool. Almost like a bullet bill, but like a little bit different. And so the next few animation updates you're gonna get will be of this little short that I'm gonna be calling Rocket. And I'm hoping to have it done in a month. And if it's not of this little short rocket, it's going to be of something else. But yeah, I think that's all I really have to show for my animations right now. This video was probably pretty quick, probably very chaotic. I'm not editing it. It's just raw, unfiltered what I have to say. In a gist, my big problems, I'm gonna point out 3 big problems I have. This is how the structure of these videos are gonna go. I show off my animations, I give a brief description of it, I tell you what I right there see what is wrong with it, and then I'm going to go into the gist of what are my 3 big issues right now and what are my 3 strengths. My 3 big issues right now are getting overwhelmed with anxiety because it's a blank canvas essentially, and I don't know where to go from there. Not being able to continue animating for long periods of time, and putting in structure to things that don't exist yet. What I mean by that is animating and adding structure onto a sketch that doesn't exist yet. Adding like, I understand structural stuff should be before you actually animate, but I like to go in and do the sketching of like the keyframes, or even if I go frame by frame like I am here, I like to do that before I go back and I do the skeleton, because it gives me a general idea of what I'm doing. But I have recently been doing this thing where I do the skeleton first. It doesn't work with me. And I know a lot of other people are going to be like, well, that's just a thing that you got to work on. But personally, I genuinely cannot just start with a skeleton. It doesn't work in my head. I have to have almost like the final product, but really crappy final product before I can make a skeleton. I don't know why that is in my head, but it's a thing. And yeah, those are my big 3 issues. I think the overwhelmed thing is I feel like I need everything to be perfect. And if it doesn't turn out great, and if it turns out like a piece of crap, then I'm a horrible person for it. That's kind of how like I've put it in my head. And I think the not being able to do it for long periods of time is just my attention span being very low. And I do need to work on that, with the fact that I constantly have videos playing in the background. I constantly have music. That's my problem. Having this secondary noise that I have going 24/7, it really makes it impossible for me to understand what I'm trying to think for myself rather than what I'm listening to. Because when I'm listening to music, my brain and I start hearing the music, but I also start digesting it in my head while I'm doing all these other things, it doesn't work. I like to enjoy the music I'm listening to, not just mindlessly listen to it. And so that's where I get a problem from. Or like I'll be listening to Creepcast because I really like Papa Meat. He's actually one of my big inspirations for the meat hole thing. Um, Along with Junji Ito, I really like Junji Ito's stuff. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I have a very low attention span already, and so these music videos or creepcast, it doesn't help me while I'm working. Sure, calm music where there's no lyrics and I don't really have anything that I can understand and really take in, where I can just stay numb, I cannot care about it, it helps. But music like gorillas, anything really that I really enjoy and I really like to look into deeper, or like look into the lyrics deeper, because I do that a lot. It distracts me from what I'm doing, and so I've recognized that I have a very low attention span when I do things like that. And I think I also just need to do some more planning into my animations instead of just like, I know I talked about how I don't like the skeleton first. That's not what I mean. What I mean by planning is I just need to know in my head, or I need to write down on a piece of paper what I want to do for the animation. That will do a million things for me. I will just be so, like, it'll, like, be perfect in my head. Oh, shoot. But anyway, point is, I really need to work on my attention span. I mean, that was even improved. That even improved it. Actually, no, it didn't. I was just texting my girlfriend, and that's why I went so silent. Because I just realized I forgot to text her back because my notifications didn't go off. Anyway, that'll be the end of the video. I'm going to bed now. I'm gonna upload this video and go right to bed. I'm very tired. Um, Also, my name on Instagram is Eyeball Animations. If you want to go follow me on there, I will have a link in the description to my account. There's not much on it yet. I will add more tomorrow or the next day or whatever. But I'm tired, so good night, y'all. Peace out, homies. Also, if you ever wonder why I say that, it's because my middle school teacher said it nonstop every single day when we left her classroom. And so it got ingrained into my brain, and so I started just saying peace out, homies, every time I leave anything. So if you wonder why I say that, it's not because I'm weird, it's just because I have to say it every time I go anywhere. So, peace out, homies. Have a good night.